Hey, gang, we're back again with Gerald Celente to talk about Liberation Day for America. Trump Tariff Liberation Day. Gerald, you're an expert on the economy. You know how things work mechanically, how the economy works. Will it work? How soon? And what's the downside? Will we suffer for a while before it really works? Gerald.
You don't know because in an hour from now, Trump is going to announce the tariff plan, but he keeps changing it. I
Right.
mean, the facts are there. You go back, he said, when I'm become president, I'm going to put a 25% tariff on everything coming out of Mexico and Canada. He gets into office, well, I'm going to wait another 2 weeks. 2 weeks comes along, he put the 25% tariffs on it. 3 days later, he took them off. You don't know what he's going to do. And so the markets, as we're speaking, they're flat. Um, I don't know. So here's the way I believe, by the way, I'm a political atheist. I don't take, again, people have to grow up. I'm a Republican. I'm a Democrat. I'm a conservative. I'm a liberal. My mind is that big, and I only look in that little direction. Grow up, become you just look at facts for the way they are. So people don't like when I say this because they think I like Trump. I can't stand Trump, what he's doing and letting the genocide go on in Israel. So that's like a whole nother story. Oh, and he bombs away over slaughtering the people in Yemen. And I'm going to go after Iran. I can't stand that crap. On the tariff side, once upon a time, we had a president by the name of McKinley. And he said, do you want cheap products or high wages? So I want high wages because then I got other things. I have more money coming in. I could buy other things. I don't care if I'm paying more. Oh, look, I mean, I have these little dishes from my Aunt Zidzi, may she rest in peace, Syracuse, China, made in Syracuse. I'm over here in Kingston, Gannett, shirt factories. Factories used to be here.
Right.
Factories were all over America. We
Yeah.
had a middle class and we had factories. So I support the tariffs because but here's the deal. When we had tariffs, we didn't have income tax. That slimeball, murderous, rotten bastard, may he rot in hell, Woodrow Wilson, gave us World War I, the Federal Reserve, federal income tax, and the IRS. Before that, we didn't have that when we had tariffs. So I believe the tariffs will be beneficial if we have manufacturing here. Yes, it will take a long time.
Right.
Yes, prices will go up, but here's the downside. You're hearing of these foreign companies coming in and opening up plants. Wait a minute, these are foreign companies opening up plants here.
Yeah.
They're not American plants. So that's a different story too. And the wages they're starting to pay aren't that high. So we have to see how it's going to play out.
Yeah. Now, my understanding is with China, if an American company sets up shop in China, China owns at least 51%, so they have control. Will it work that way in America?
No. And again, go back to what you just said. 99.999% of the people have no idea what you just said in China. Number two, that slime ball, every time he got caught with his pants down, bombs away over Baghdad, Bill Clinton, brought China into the World Trade Organization. All the companies that could, from the United States to Europe, flooded into China. You look at China's GDP before they officially came into the World Trade Organization 2 weeks after 9/11. From 1970 to 2000, it's like that. They get into the World Trade Organization, boom, it skyrockets.
Yeah.
The Western nations gave China the high tech and heavy industry that they never had before and didn't know how to do.
Yeah.
Now let's go back. Hey, who's the biggest electric car company? BYD, huh? Chinese. They couldn't make crap before Bill Clinton brought them into the World Trade
Right.
Organization. Hey, how about the AI world? Hey, stocks aren't, the Magnificent Seven aren't so magnificent anymore in America. Hey, but did you see that Hang Seng spike when DeepSeek came in on January, end of January? I think it was the 27th.
Yeah.
And you look at the Hang Seng index, because China is going to lead the world in AI. Goes back, trend tracking. You make connections between different fields. We're talking about what Clinton did. Go back to China before Bill Clinton brought them into the World Trade Organization. 10% of 18-year-olds went to college. Now, almost 70%. Go back to AI. Young people are totally high-tech addicted. This is their life. They're not stupid people. They're going to lead the world in AI. That's going to bring a dot-com bust in America. So I just want to put some of these trends together to show you where we're going, because we're also seeing what's happening with gold. When we went on the air, I just looked, it was $3,126 an ounce. $3,126. I began buying gold. I sold it, unfortunately, as a young guy, 1978. It was either 183 or 160 something dollars an ounce. All right. Gold prices are going up like they are because of the geopolitical and economic uncertainty that we've never seen in our lifetime.
Well, Gerald, getting back to what you're saying about it's foreign companies that may re-industrialize the United States, which isn't good. So in terms of us having control, especially in a crisis. Now, are you suggesting with everything that you've put together here, the trends, the way they work together, is it already too late to really turn it around?
No, and I'll tell you why. I don't believe in globalization. I believe in self-sustaining economies. As you know, I have peace rallies every year, Occupy Peace. And I read from George Washington's farewell address, not to become involved in these foreign entanglements. This stuff's been going on for thousands of years, basically. We're not going to fix it, and it's none of our business. Now, I'm going to tell you why self-sustaining and self-efficient economies work. Totally stupid for Trump to say we're going to put like a couple of 100% tariffs on French champagne or wine or something. No, you bring that stuff in. It's not competition. I'm buying French champagne and French wine because what they make in America can't come close to it. Give me that Italian prosciutto. We're not competing with it. Now, let's go back to looking at the big picture here. The tariffs are going to take time if the companies are American. Well, I'm sorry, the question you asked again, I lost my track.
What was it, considering the reindustrialization, if it
Okay,
occurs,
yeah,
it's going to
that's
be
it.
dominated by foreign companies.
Right. So here about being self-sufficient. Again, the trends. Let's go back to February 2022. Biden puts sanctions on Russia. Putin's going to pay the price. That's his quote. Biden, a little clown jerk of nothing, a dead clown in front of everybody's eyes. That's the American presidency, one after another. We said, no, this isn't going to hurt Russia. They're going to benefit from it. All those companies that are pulling out, the Russians are going to take over. They have the human and natural resources they need to be self-sufficient. Their economy went down the first year and then went way up, not way up, but went up nice as the European economies went down. Russia has all they need to be self-sufficient. America has all it needs to be self-sufficient. China, they don't want to buy Gucci anymore. They want to be made in China. They have 1.4 billion people. If they're manufacturing and doing business with each other, it's booming the economy. If we're manufacturing and Americans are buying here, and I want to make this clear again, the stupidity of what's being sold. Now, again, Germany, the third largest economy in the world, is in recession, 2 quarters. They're going to spend $1 trillion in debt. $1 trillion in debt to build up the military industrial complex, and they say they're going to build up the infrastructure. That's not going to build up the economy. They're lying. The economy is built up when the products that you're producing are bought by the people of your country. That's the way it goes. And to me, that's the way it has to happen. So you can look at Russia, look what happened, and look at the benefit from being self-sustaining and self-sufficient.
Well, also, Gerald, the critics are already hitting hard. It's not going to work. It's ridiculous, blah, 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 against Trump. So with that kind of onslaught, and with the American public, consumers, feeling the initial pain of prices going up before they go down, is Trump going to be able to weather this and continue with these tariffs, or are people just going to say, hey, I don't want to be paying more, even though down the road it might be a benefit? In other words, will Americans run out of patience and turn against Trump because of the pain in the meantime?
Yeah, they could turn against him. So what? What does he care?
And he'll continue the tariffs until they work.
Yeah, until he wants to. Yeah. If he does what he says he's even going to do.
Yeah.
But again, and now he's even talking, he's only in office, what, not even 3 months?
Right.
And now he's talking about running again?
Yeah. He says it's not a joke, he says.
It is a joke. The whole thing is a joke. It's a freak show all over the world. Look at the little clowns, the little Macron with a pecker like this and fake hair, walking tough like this, building up the military. This is very important, by the way, what's going on in Europe. Sweden, 3.5% of the GDP now going to defense. Sweden, a nation of peace, all building up their defense systems because their economies are going down. When all else fails, they take you to war.
Right.
And now, again, so many wild cards could be played. Again, I've been at this for 45 years. We do top trends every year. This is the first year that we ever came out with a top trend wild card. Anything could happen now. And the Trump presidency makes it as wild as can be.
All right, let me ask you this, Gerald, before we wrap this up. I know you're pressed for time today. Imbalance, maybe it's too early to tell, but imbalance, on balance, is Trump something that America needs at this point, considering all the other presidents who've been not functional? So is there more hope with Trump, or is that still a wild card?
There's positive things. I mean, I'm all in favor of getting rid of all these government agencies. They're a bunch of pieces of crap. Again, I was the assistant to the secretary of the New York State Senate. The people that are bureaucrats, whether in your city, state, or country, they're lowest pieces of scum. They can't get a job in the real world, so they get into the political system.
Right.
And they become the most arrogant, telling you what to do. I'm totally in favor of that. I'm totally in favor of the immigration thing. Totally opposed to what he's doing to people that are coming out against Israel's genocide, calling us anti-Semites. Totally opposed to it. Totally opposed to him slaughtering innocent people in Yemen as he lied his way into office. You look at the cover of the Trends Journal in not this week, but last week, and it was, is he a man of peace or a piece of SHI, And he's backtracked on what he said about peace. So there's the positives and the negatives. But the bottom line is Trump is only concerned about himself. I had lunch with his brother, Robert, back in 2017. He had a restaurant over here in Wassaic, which is across the river from me. And the brother went on to tell me that when the father died, left him over $500 million worth of real estate. Trump's a spoiled daddy's boy with a bad attitude. So he's going to do whatever he wants. Again, there's the good. And again, if Biden was in, it would be more of the same lousy crap and worse. It's one freak show after another. There's never been a better time for a new third party. Never. Ever, 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 ever.
Do you see that as a possible? Do you see that as possibly emerging realistically?
One of my books, Trend Tracking, far better than Megatrends, Time Magazine, wrote it in '89. I had forecast a new third party in someone like Ross Perot. And Ross Perot was the guy that happened. But Ross Perot is a very rich dude. Can't do it without any money. If the billionaires put money into a new political party for the people, a People's Party, it would win tomorrow with somebody like Thomas Massey, who most people never heard of, from Kentucky, who's like a Ron Paul. But the people are ready for it. The facts are all there. If Trump wasn't in the Republican Party, what do you got? Dead in your face, McConnell? Yeah, it's one jerk. It's a freak show, both parties. So it's never been a better time for one, but you can't do anything without money.
And also, you can't really turn anything around unless the general population stays informed. As Benjamin Franklin said outside the Philadelphia Convention, when he was asked by a woman, "What kind of government have you given us?" And he said, "A republic if you can keep it." So he knew even then, that it all depends on the population staying informed and active. Do we have that? Do we have a hope of that happening? Because so far, I mean, there's some emerging consciousness now because of all the abuses, but will it be enough soon enough to really have a third party emerge and other fixes?
Absolutely. It could happen overnight if you had the money behind it. If you had the money behind it, you had a billionaire, multi-billionaire throws in $1 billion. It's chump change. Oh, remember that guy, Charlie Munger, Buffett's partner? What was he worth? About $100 billion or something?
Yeah.
Guy's brilliant. You know what he did when he died? He built this huge casket and took all the money with him. I'm joking.
Well, again, what that leads to.
I'm saying how arrogant and disgusting these billionaires are.
Yeah.
Not a penny for peace, not a penny for the people.
All right, Joe, you said, you need money, a lot of money to get this viable, a third party.
Absolutely.
Who has that kind of money who's not worried about losing it by taking a chance on doing the right thing?
A real man or a real woman.
Where?
And I'm just saying, you asked me what would do it, and I just told you. A real man and a real woman. And so far, none showed up.
And the question is, are they out?
Look, I mean, well, you know me for a lot of years. I got blacklisted from the media when I said we'd lose the Afghan and Iraq wars.
Right.
They can't pay. Nobody could buy me out. Nobody tells me what to do. These are the facts. This is the way I see it.
Yeah.
Oh, and talking about moronic stupidity, how about the little jerk off over there doing push-ups to show how tough he is? The guy playing our Secretary of Defense, Heggs. Yeah. He said, we're gonna if we have to fight China to save Taiwan. China, you're gonna beat China, the one with the biggest naval system in the world, 1.4 billion people. You couldn't beat the Vietnamese. You only kill over 3.5 million. You couldn't beat the Iraqis. Couldn't beat the Afghans. You're going to beat China?
Yeah, and we built up China's defenses with our money through outsourcing. So here we go. Anyway, Gerald, I know you got another appointment, so I'll let you go for now. But thanks for your latest analysis. And you've been at it a long time, and you're usually right on the button with what's going on. So as we see how these tariffs work out, we'll be doing more on this and other topics. Gerald Celente, thanks for joining us.
Thank you. And remember, if anybody wants history before it happens, they want the Trends Journal, you can go to trendsjournal.com. We've been right on target on 90% of what we've been hitting on. And I'm telling you, I've never seen gold prices like this go up as high. And watch out for the .com bust coming soon.
You've been predicting it. Okay, Gerald, thanks. We'll be talking. Thank you.
Thank you.